Are you ready for a night of pure terror? Brace yourself for the 30 most bone-chilling horror films that will keep you up all night. These aren't your average scary movies. They read the kind that'll make you sleep with the lights on for weeks. First up, we have The Conjuring. Based on true events, this film follows paranormal investigators Ed and Lorraine Warren as they help a family terrorized by a dark presence in their farmhouse. The tension builds slowly, but when it hits hard. You'll never look at your closet the same way again. Next is Hereditary, a movie that starts as a family drama and descends into pure nightmare fuel. Toni Collette's performance as a grieving mother is haunting, and the film's final act is so disturbing it'll make you want to call your therapist. The Babadook is a psychological horror that'll make you question your own sanity. It as the story of a single mother and her son, haunted by a mysterious presence from a children's book. The real horror lies in the blurred lines between reality and imagination. For found footage fans, Paranormal Activity is a must-watch. It proves that sometimes what you don't see is far scarier than what you do. The subtle bumps in the night and moving doors will have you jumping at every little sound in your own home. It Follows brings a fresh concept to the horror genre. A supernatural entity that can look like anyone and only moves at walking speed, but never stops coming for you. It's a slow burn horror that'll make you paranoid about everyone around you. The Exorcist may be an oldie, but it's still a goodie. This classic tale of demonic possession has been terrifying audiences for decades. The practical effects hold up surprisingly well, and the story is just as chilling today as it was in 1973. For those who like their horror with a side of gore, Saw is the way to go. It's not just about the gruesome traps, but the twisted morality behind them. You'll be questioning your own choices long after the credits roll. A Quiet Place proves that silence can be deafening. In a world where making a sound means certain death, this film builds tension like no other. You'll find yourself holding your breath along with the characters. The Blair Witch Project may have kickstarted the found footage craze, but it's still one of the best. The sense of disorientation and growing dread as the characters get lost in the woods is palpable. That final scene will haunt your dreams. Sinister takes the haunted house genre and cranks it up to 11. Ethan Hawke's performance as a true crime writer who stumbles upon something far darker than he expected is riveting. Those home movies are the stuff of nightmares. The Ring brought Japanese horror to mainstream American audiences, and for good reason. The cursed videotape concept is brilliant, and Samara crawling out of the TV is an image that'll stick with you forever. Get Out proves that horror can be smart and socially relevant. Jordan Peele's directorial debut is a masterclass in building tension and subverting expectations. You'll never look at a cup of tea the same way again. The Shining is Stanley Kubrick's masterpiece of psychological horror. Jack Nicholson's descent into madness is terrifying to watch, and the Overlook Hotel is a character in its own right. Redrum, indeed. Alien might be sci-fi, but it's horror at its core. The claustrophobic setting of the Nostromo and the relentless xenomorph create a sense of dread that's hard to shake. That chestburster scene is still shocking decades later. The Texas Chainsaw Massacre is raw, gritty, and utterly terrifying. Leatherface and his family of cannibals are the stuff of nightmares. The dinner scene alone is enough to put you off meat for life. Halloween introduced us to Michael Myers, the embodiment of pure evil. John Carpenter's simple yet effective score adds to the tension, and Jamie Lee Curtis's performance as the ultimate final girl is iconic. The Thing is body horror at its finest. The paranoia of not knowing who to trust, combined with the grotesque practical effects, makes for a truly unsettling experience. You'll be side-eyeing your friends for days after watching this one. Rosemary's Baby is a slow-burn psychological horror that'll make your skin crawl. Mia Farrow's performance as a woman who suspects her neighbors of sinister intentions is haunting. The reveal at the end is pure nightmare fuel. The Silence of the Lambs might be more thriller than horror, but Anthony Hopkins' portrayal of Hannibal Lecter is terrifying enough to earn it a spot on this list. You'll think twice before having an old friend for dinner. Insidious brings a fresh take on the haunted house genre. The concept of astral projection adds a new layer of terror, and the red-faced demon is the stuff of nightmares. That seance scene will have you on the edge of your seat. The Descent proves that claustrophobia and monsters are a terrifying combination. A group of women exploring an uncharted cave system find themselves trapped with something inhuman. You'll never want to go spelunking after this. 28 Days Later reinvented the zombie genre with its fast-moving infected. The empty streets of London are eerie enough, but when the action kicks in, it's relentless. You'll be checking for bite marks after every cough. Ju-on, The Grudge, is J-horror at its finest. The non-linear storytelling adds to the confusion and fear, and Kayako's death rattle is a sound that'll haunt your dreams. You'll think twice before entering any attics after this one. The Cabin in the Woods starts as a typical slasher film, but quickly becomes something much more. It's a love letter to the horror genre that manages to be both funny and terrifying. The elevator scene alone is worth the watch. It brings Stephen King's epic novel to life in terrifying fashion. Bill Skarsgård's portrayal of Pennywise, the dancing clown, is deeply unsettling, and the Losers Club's performances are stellar. You'll never look at storm drains the same way again. The Witch is a slow burn period piece that builds dread like no other. The authentic 17th century dialogue adds to the unsettling atmosphere, and the final scene is pure folk horror perfection. Black Phillip will haunt your nightmares. Drag Me to Hell proves that Sam Raimi can still deliver the scares. It is a roller coaster of horror and dark humor that will have you laughing one minute and screaming the next. That seance scene is both hilarious and terrifying. The Orphanage is a Spanish ghost story that'll break your heart as much as it'll scare you. The atmosphere is thick with dread, and the twist ending is both shocking and poignant. You'll be hugging your loved ones extra tight after this one. Train to Busan brings zombies to the claustrophobic setting of a speeding train. The action is intense, the characters are well developed, and the emotional moments hit hard. You'll be rooting for the survivors while peeking through your fingers. Last but not least, we have Martyrs, a French extreme horror that's not for the faint of heart. It starts as a revenge thriller and becomes something far more disturbing. The philosophical questions it raises will haunt you long after the credits roll.